Hey everybody, this video brings us not out to Pennsylvania, even though it is kind of gloomy. I've got a jacket on today. It's a little chilly. It's like 65 degrees. It's overcast. It was actually just drizzling a little bit, kind of that misty drizzle a little bit not too long ago. But no, we're not in Pennsylvania. We today are in Winter Garden, Florida. We're here. This is park hours, 8 to 6 p.m. City of Winter Garden, Parks and Recreation. There's their phone number. And today we are here at this park, which I eventually want to go take a look at some point. I'll probably take Sean here when he eventually moves down here permanently in about 2 months. But we are here at the Tucker Ranch Wellness Park, or at least that's what's coming soon. I believe this is still called the Tucker Ranch, but supposedly they have changed that number, I think, a couple times. From what I was reading, the whole ranch, the whole complex was supposed to be like kind of redone in 2017, but I guess that hasn't happened. Now it says coming 2025, but they've put that number on there. So who knows if it's actually going to come next year? Who knows if all this is going to be built next year? It would be awesome if it does get built. So this area is actually owned by the city of Winter Garden, but we're not here necessarily to take a look at the Tucker Ranch or to talk about what's coming or what's here already. Again, we'll go down there some other time. We'll go check out the actual ranch and what's there, the actual park, at some other time, because what I want to talk about is what sits right over here. I've driven past this now probably like 50 times. No, more than 50 times. I was going to say 50 times since I've been down here over the last 2 weeks, but I've driven past this multiple times since I've been coming down here, and I wanted to see what this was all about. So did some research on this, and comes to turn out, it turns out it comes to be whatever. It's early in the morning. Supposedly, this area of like Winter Garden, Florida, back in the early, I was going to say turn of the century, but that means different things to different people. Back in the early 1900s, late 1800s, early 1900s, this was kind of the sort of well-to-do area. This was this is where all the hoity-toity kind of like lived and came to be. And if you were somebody, if you had some money, this was the area you were probably living in and throwing parties at and stuff like that. So there was a couple called Gracie and Charles Mathersmith, and they actually moved from, I believe it was Chicago, down here. Charles was a paper manufacturer, made all his money doing paper manufacturing. And they ended up moving down here. I believe, I don't know if retiring down here, but they ended up moving down here anyway. And I believe Grace was a little bit younger, and she worked in the theater, and she was a dancer, a little bit on the wild side, if you will. From what I was reading, apparently the other socialites around here were kind of appalled by her wild behaviors and whatnot. But she loved throwing parties. She was a big fan of throwing parties and whatnot. She always had like birthday parties where she invited all the kids out and stuff, and she always had these big parties, and she wanted to continue to throw these parties. So she had a big estate built where she threw parties, but she wanted to have a country club built where she could continue to have these parties and these gatherings and these get-togethers for the well-to-do in the area. So her husband built her a country club. I was reading, I think the country club began in like 1911, but I think this was actually built in like 1915, lasted in this area right here until 1924, when unfortunately a hurricane came through and like flooded the area. There's a big, I believe, a big lake back there. I think the lake like flooded this area. I mean, it's Florida. There's a lot of flood zones. You gotta watch. If you're buying a house in Florida, check where you're buying a house. If you're buying a house in Florida, make sure you're not buying a house in a flood zone. We made sure, even though we're not too far away from a lake, we made sure that our house was not built in a flood zone, and apparently it's not, so that's good. But if you do buy a house in Florida, make sure, because you get a hurricane or some bad rainstorms that come by, which, I mean, it's Florida. It rains a lot down here. Not for long periods of time, usually just kind of like off and on, but still, you get a lot of rain down here, and you live in a flood zone. That could be bad. So lasted until 1924 when it was flooded out. However, the country club does still exist to this day, which is pretty awesome. Not in this location. They've actually moved, I believe, down the road, but they still do exist. So a country club that started in 1911 still exists to this day, which is pretty cool. Over 100 years old, and that is the West Orange Country Club. And look at this amazing entrance that still stands here today. This concrete and brick entrance. How awesome is this? Look at the tile work there that says West Orange Country Club. It is so cool that this is still here. Because for a while, this was a ranch. This was the Tucker Ranch. This was an actual ranch, a working ranch for a while, until that became to not be anymore. And then eventually the city actually bought out the land and turned it into a park. But to think that the original owners of the ranch could have very easily just torn this down. They could have said, all right, well, this is no longer the West Orange Country Club. We don't need this arch here anymore. We can just tear this down. But they didn't. And I'm so happy they didn't, because they didn't, it still stands here to this day, which is really, really awesome. This is so cool. So again, I've been driving past this multiple times over the last couple of months that I've been coming down here. This is Avalon Road, takes you right out to 50. If you're heading into like downtown Winter Garden or into Winter Garden, I'm getting choked up. Or you're heading into Winter Garden, you're probably heading down that way. I think that overpass right there, I think that is the turnpike. I could be wrong, still trying to get my bearings down here. I think that's a turnpike anyway. Correct me if I'm wrong about that. So anyway, if you're heading into Winter Garden, like downtown Winter Garden, you're probably heading down Avalon if you're coming from like the Claremont area or like that far part of Winter Garden. You're probably heading down Avalon Road. So I'm sure many of you watching have driven past this, and I've driven past this so many times. I wanted to check it out, look up the history of this. So pretty awesome. Again, that this is still here. To know that this area was the area for all the well-to-do to live and congregate, and they all lived kind of in this area in the Claremont. Ooh, this ground is it's probably an ant bed right there. I'm like sinking into the ground, quicksand. So this whole area here, the Claremont area, the Winter Garden area, the Oakland area, I believe the actual Mether Smiths actually moved to Oakland, not Oakland, California, Oakland, Florida. So this whole area, again, was kind of for the wealthy, the well-to-do, and Gracie wanted a country club built for her so she could throw her parties. And her husband, with all the money, said, yeah, no problem, hun. I'm gonna build you an entire, I believe built her like this big estate, this big mansion, and then said, yeah, you know what? I'll build you a country club as well. Man, I wish I had that kind of money. I wish I had the money just to say, yeah, hun, I'm gonna build you a country club. So this is awesome. Yeah, this whole area is just covered in like ant beds. I think they're all old ant beds, but geez, something else you gotta look for in Florida. You gotta look out for the fire ants, and I forget what the other kind of ants are, but they like to bite. So look at this. So I've been reading that there's plans for this. Supposedly, when the new park is built and the wellness center is built and all that's done and over with, plans for that include restoring this. So apparently there are plans to actually restore the country club gates. Again, this was the old entrance gates to the country club. You didn't drive in on that road there. You came in through these gates right here in your old vehicles. Probably, I'm sure many still horse and carriages probably came through here. Pretty cool. So there are plans to restore this. That is the plan. However, there's also talk of maybe possibly the West Orange Country Club, that again still exists, it's not in this location anymore. They're actually interested in purchasing this or having it donated or taking this. Anyway, they would love for this to be on their property, which I don't know. I have mixed feelings about. Part of me is like, well, if for any reason this is going to get torn down or something like that, which apparently it's not going to, then I would say yes. I would love to see it moved and saved. Even if not in its original place, I would love to see the arch here saved and taken somewhere else and just preserved for people to see. But if it is already going to be preserved, if it already is going to be fixed up and renovated, then I kind of want it to stay right here. I like it here. This is its original spot. This is where it has stood since 19 15, so I would like to see the arch stay right here, not actually move. I don't think it should move, even though, again, the West Orange Country Club still exists. They would love to have this on the property. Again, I get it. I understand why, and I'm not saying that's wrong of them to do. If I was the owner of the West Orange Country Club, I would probably want this on my property too. Heck yeah, but at the same time, it has stood here since 1915. This is the original spot of the original West Orange Country Club. And I would kind of like to see it stay here because I just feel like it's sort of right for it to be here all these years later, over 100 years later, still standing here. Not in the best condition, but again, it will be getting supposedly fixed up. And I can't wait to see that. So I wanted to come out here and look at this while it is in the state that it's in before possibly maybe next year. I'm going to hold my breath on that, but maybe next year the wellness center does come and this is renovated and is fixed up. Again, I don't really know if that country club is coming, or the wellness center is coming next year or not. I don't think any building, like I haven't seen any construction work start yet, so I don't know about that, but maybe possibly. Either way though, this is cool, and I wanted to come out here, show this to you, document this, take a look at this, because this is pretty amazing. Look at that, just that amazing concrete and brickwork, and then again, the really awesome West Orange Country Club tile work. That is really, really cool. I'm curious if there's anything on the back. Oh wait, I was gonna say we can't get to the back, but that's a lie. We're gonna sneak right through here. All right, nothing on the back, but you can see the cool brickwork still continues onto the back. This is cool. But all right, guys, if you live in the area, if you're from Claremont, Florida, if you're from Winter Garden, Florida, any of those areas like that, and you've driven past this hundreds of times going down Avalon Road, leave your comments down below. I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear about you and this, or maybe you're a part. I'm going to squeeze through here again. Maybe you're a member of the West Orange Country Club in its current configuration. And if you are, definitely leave a comment down below. So pretty cool, pretty awesome. Grace, or Gracie, from what I was reading, I read both spellings, Grace or Gracie, and Charles Mathersmith built this. Built by them for Gracie, because she wanted to throw her parties. She wanted to have a place where all her well-to-do friends, all her very rich friends who also lived in the area, could get together. She could throw her amazing, epic birthday parties that she was known for, where she invited all the kids out. Apparently every year she was given a car, and supposedly, I guess you could show her cars off here. There's a story about their child who she needed to get a present for or something like that, and realized, oh no, I have to run to, again, this is all a story, but she apparently had to run to downtown Orlando to get a present, and she hopped in her car, sped, got pulled over by the cop, who at the time only charged her supposedly $10 for a ticket, but she gave the cop a $20 bill and said, keep the change, I'm coming back through going the same speed. So pretty cool story. I don't know if it's actually true or not, but really cool. So again, built for a very well-to-do family, husband and wife and child. And that wife wanted a country club built so she could throw her parties. And when you got a ton of money, you can do that kind of thing. And the husband said, yeah, no problem, hun. I'm gonna build you a country club. And the West Orange Country Club came to be, still stands to this day. The Arch and the Country Club still stand to this day. Again, the Country Club is not located here anymore. It was only located here, from what I was reading, 1915 to 1924. But the Country Club does still exist, just not here. But the Arch is still here. And in my opinion, it should stay here. Moving it, from what I was also reading, would be very, very expensive, because, I mean, it's a concrete arch. I can only imagine moving this would be very, very expensive. And probably dangerous to the actual arch itself. I mean, it can take a lot of time and care to make sure this doesn't crumble on you. It's already cracking. You see there's been many, many different repairs made to this over the years. and whatnot, and the sides are completely cracking. Whether they would save the sides, I don't even know. So in my opinion, just keep it here. This is where it should be. It's been here since 1915. Keep it here. And all this would really, this would really concern me. All the fact that the concrete is cracking so much. So just preserve this, fix this up. You know, maybe put the concrete back together, patch it up, fix some brickwork, restore this. That's what I want to see. I want to see it restored, which apparently is in the plans. So pretty awesome, pretty cool. Look at this bottle down here. How long's that been there? Look at that. Can I even get that out? Like, oh my gosh, I can't even get that out of the ground. Look at that. There's a couple bottles here, actually. That's so crazy. I'm assuming these bottles probably aren't from the 1900s, but man, look at that. That is not coming out. One bottle there, one bottle there. Looks like another bottle there. Somebody's been out here having a party. Maybe they were out here having a party in memory of Gracie, who wanted her parties to be held out here. Maybe. Well, you can see, yeah, somebody's been out here. There's a Deep Eddy vodka. So there you go. Somebody's been out here partying it up in memory of the great parties for the well-to-do in the area that were once held out here. That is pretty awesome. Pretty cool this still stands. But all right, guys, I'm going to let you go. Like I said, just wanted to bring you out here, wanted to document this. I wanted to really see this. As somebody who's driven past this now probably over 100 times, I wanted to come out here, see this, document this, take a look at this, tell you guys some history of this, why it exists. Because if you're like me, you have driven past this hundreds, thousands, dozens of times, and you've always thought, what is this? What is the West Orange Country Club? Because, I mean, clearly this is old. It's got some age to it. Like, what is this all about? Well, now you know. Now you know the story. Now you know why it's here. And hopefully it'll stay right here. That is cool. But all right, guys, again, I'm going to let you guys go. So, as always, thank you so much for checking out this video. Be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Check down below for links to Patreon. If you guys do, step on those ants. Look at that. Oh, I think there still are some ants in there. Ugh. Gotta check my shoes after this. Anyway, check down below for links to what Patreon. If you guys do become a patron, I will send you a postcard every single month from the road. Also, check down below for a link to Spreadshirt, where you can grab yourself retro Rest Stop t-shirts. Proceeds, it's like tile there. Proceeds both from Spreadshirt and from Patreon do help support the show. And they do keep the show going, so I really do appreciate the help. And I really do appreciate the support. And if you guys watch this video all the way until the very end, hashtag West Orange Country Club. If you guys watch this video all the way until the very end, because again, this is cool. I love this sort of thing. I love this sort of history. And I'm determined to find more really cool history like this down here in Florida. It's not quite like Pennsylvania, where I can throw a rock and hit history. Pennsylvania, it's like there's, especially where I live, there's a lot of Revolutionary War history. There's a lot of history in Pennsylvania. I mean, I live right outside of Philadelphia. It's very, very historical where I live. Florida, maybe not as much, but there is history here. There's history everywhere. I always say, when people tell me, there's nothing important in my town, nothing important ever happened here, there's no history in my town, do some digging. You can probably find something pretty cool and something historical in your area. There's history everywhere, and I will be finding some amazing history here in Florida. Looking forward to that. But all right, guys, again, that's going to do it. So, like I said, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And if you do hit that subscribe button, or you are subscribed, then I will see you guys in the next video. Don't know where, don't know what we'll be doing. Also, leave your comments down below if you appreciate this unedited video. If that's something you're into, leave your comments down below. I'll do some more of these unedited videos in the future. Maybe I'll do a mixture of edited and unedited, so leave those comments down below. I don't want to leave. I want to keep looking at this awesome sign. It's so cool. All right, guys, like I said, leave those comments down below. Let me know what you guys think of this. Have you driven past this? Are you a member of the West Orange Country Club? And if you have driven past this, have you thought to yourself, what the heck is this? So, all right. And if you like these unedited videos, I'll do some more of these. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it. So, like I said, thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. I know I already said this, but if you do hit that like button or you do hit that subscribe button, then I will see you guys in the next video. So, again, from Winter Garden, Florida, again, downtown Winter Garden, right down that road there. From Florida, yes, from Winter Garden, Florida. The original gates, the original archway, concrete and brick and tile entrance gate, entrance arch to the West Orange Country Club. All right, guys, that's going to do it. So like I said, thanks for watching. I'll see you next video. All right, for real. Bye. All right, so now that I'm back home, I'm guessing it's time to work on the library some more. I haven't really done any work in the garage in, I don't know, a couple of days, probably since like mid last week. So I'm kind of behind on doing stuff, but I've got to get stuff moved at this point. I have to start putting boxes kind of more over here so I can work over there and get more of the shelves put in here and all that stuff. It's a lot of work. So there is work to be done. I've got to do work, and I'm just going to get working on it today. So gonna work on the library, gonna work on the garage, and maybe by like mid or like late next week or this week, later on this week, I guess is what I'm trying to say, I might have an update for you guys. So stay tuned. All right. Again, thanks for watching. I'm going to get working on the garage or the library.